Wholeness, y'all. Spirit, light, body. I'm forward. Okay, y'all. You right here, you're looking at a eukaryotic, and then on the other side, you're looking at a prokaryotic cell. Now, I want you to understand that these beings that you see are ancient, and they are ancestors, and they live within and without. Your body is made of 150 trillion cells. So you have to understand something about these bacteria, that they've been here since, you could say, if there was a beginning, right? They've been here since then. And they will be here after what we call, quote unquote, we're not here, the end, right? So I want you to understand that these things right here are very, very important. And they are what makes your body up. So it's very important to remember that and retain that. Now we're going to look at some of what goes on in the cell, how you can understand them, right? So it says, what's found inside of a cell? Or organelle. Think of it as a cell's internal organ. It's a membrane-bound structure found within a cell. Just like cells have membranes to hold everything in, these many organs are also bound in a double layer of phospholipids to insulate their little compartments within the larger cells. You can think of organelles as smaller rooms within the factory with specialized conditions to help these rooms carry out their specific tasks, like like a break room stocked with goodies, or a research room with cool gadgets and a special air filter. So I want you guys to just understand, right, that your body being made up of all these different cells, you are a large conglomeration of these beings all put together, and you break you down, this is what you're made of. So you're not just you as you think of you. So check it out, right? So the organelle, then we got the function, and we got the factory part. So as you can see on the diagrams, the nucleus, that's where the DNA is stored at. You could look at that's the room where the blueprints are kept, right? It's the blueprints of DNA. The mitochondria, that's the energy production. You could look at that as the power plant. That's the factory part, right? So, and then go on and on and on here. And I want you guys to understand how, like I said, your body being made of these entities, we're a hive organism. So these beings are actually responsible for your thoughts. They're responsible for your cravings. And I want you guys to understand something. We're going to get into this a little bit further on in this bill, but I want you to understand the power of something like this, and then understand that the power of you gaining this knowledge and then learning how you can do something about it, right? What direction you can take this in. So we got to go to the beginning. If you understand that in order to solve a problem, you have to go to where it started. Look at this, 4 weeks old. This is an embryo. I want you to see right here that this is basically the gut. This is the first organ that forms. If you look down that list, you'll see the stomach, you'll see the liver bud, you'll see the pharynx, which that's basically the throat. So you'll see here in a minute on this next one that as this develops, you'll start to see that, wow, all the organs are basically growing from this, what they call the primitive gut tube. The yellow tube you see going from the mouth all the way down to what would be the anus, right? You can see the little tail, how it shrivels up and eventually becomes the legs and stuff, right? Your coccyx. So that's what I'm telling you, that when you have an issue, when you're sick, it doesn't matter what liver or what organ is in, it all ties into the gut. If we can agree that if we're going to solve a problem, you need to go to the root of where it started. Well, I just showed you at 4 weeks, what's the first organ that's starting? The gut. So that, didn't I tell you guys, the Muladhara, the root chakra, that's the largest organ. And then when you're sick or you need to do a cleanse, a fast, that when you start cleaning that organ out, all the other chakras are going to start spinning. The chakras are the organs, right? I'm getting ready to show you this without any ifs, ands, or buts. But before that, I want you to understand. So like I said, that primitive gut tube is what everything else is based off of. Now look at this, the digestive system. You have the muscular system, you have the integumentary system, you have the lymphatic system, you have the endocrine system, you have the nervous system, you have the skeletal system. Then of course you have your male and female reproductive systems. You have the respiratory system, you have the urinary system, and then you have this circulatory system. Now notice that, right? The circulatory, see, your body is electric, is energetic. And see, this is what all the ancients were trying to show you, even like in Kemet, the goddess Circuit, the circuit. See what I'm saying? They were trying to show you that the body is electrical and that we are goddess in the form of a human being. God experiences itself as 7 billion different people simultaneously is the type of power that we're talking about here. Those of us that are awake are seeing that, and we're trying to wake up others to see that too, that you are divine. Like, look right here, like this is in your head, the superior brachium. I showed you guys this before, and look at it next to Christ. If you notice, the left and the right hemispheres, right? And in the middle there, you see what I'm saying? There you go, Christ. I told y'all before. They took your story and they gave it to you externally when this is something internal. They don't want you to be able to activate this power within you, because when this kundalini comes online and it starts charging up the spine, man, people can feel this energy coming off you. They may not necessarily understand what it is and know exactly what's going on, but they'll be like, man, I don't know what it is about him, but he knows something. You see what I'm saying? It's something about him. That's that power. That's that energy. And see, that's what they can't have, because they can't control beings like that, y'all. It's very hard to control a being of that caliber, right? So understand that all the ancients were always trying to show you that you are God. You see what I'm saying? Look at that. They were showing you right there in Kemet on the walls. Look at the brain. Look at the brain cut open. What's inside of that? Look at it. The thalamus. Like I told y'all, the third eye, what I call the third eye system, the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, and the thalamus. You see what I'm saying? Like right there, y'all. Like it's right there. And then when you look at that brain on the bottom left hand side, I'm telling you, man, it's right there. And so understand that your chakras, right? Because I've been talking about the chakras. Remember we talked about the organs being the chakras. There it is. Look at what Sri Paramahansa Yogananda was showing you. Then look at the endocrine system. Doesn't that line up perfectly with the chakra diagram on the left and right? Look at that. How can I make it up? Each gland corresponds to the chakra. So to the testes, the Muladhara, the ovaries, you see what I'm saying? The Swadhisthana. Then you go up, you see what I'm saying? The Manipura, the pancreas, you see what I'm saying? And the adrenal glands, you go up, you got the heart, the thalamus, excuse me. Then you go up to the throat, you got the thyroid. Then you get up into the higher chakras, you got the pituitary gland, you got the pineal gland, you got the hypothalamus gland tying into the third eye and the crown chakras. Y'all, I'm trying to tell you, see, this is what we know, and knowing this, we're going to move forward and we're going to do something about it. We're going to utilize this knowledge. Look at this, the pH. Didn't I tell y'all? Two sides to biochemistry. The acidic, look at the colors. Ain't that like the color of fire? Look at the alkaline. Hey, look at the color. How can I make it up? Ain't that more cool? But don't get it twisted now. Too alkaline will mess you up too. That's why you want to be right there in that green, the heart, like the earth. You see what I'm saying? That 7, that neutral, a little bit over 7. You want to be like 7.4, 7.6. Keep your pH balanced, guys. This is chemistry. You can argue with me about it all day, but I'm telling you, biochemistry does not lie. When you start testing this stuff in your body, like I've been telling you I'm doing, I'm not telling you to do something that I hadn't done. I've tested this stuff, y'all. I'm telling you what I know. This is what we know now. We know the body's made of these elements right here. Wholeness to Dr. Sebi, you beautiful being, you. Thank you. Dr. Sebi was showing us that, look, your body's made of all these different minerals, all these different natural elements. Now, I talked about this on this channel that I deal with the holistic thing. When that whole, gotta watch what I say, that whole CVID thing popped off, right? And I was trying to, tell people and wake you up to the holistic route. They was taking my stuff down. That was for a reason. They didn't want you to be into that. They wanted you to go run and grab that clotty, pop, pop, pop. You see what I'm saying? Jab, jab, jab. That's what they want, man. It's money in that. It ain't no money in making stuff off the creator. So you see the natural elements is what you're made of. I told you in Ayurveda, the natural holistic system, 5,000 years old. These are the doses, what you're looking at. 3 elements, the air, the ether, which space, air, ether, you see what I'm saying? What they call space is the ether. Then you have the kappa, which is the water, right? Then you have the fire, which is the Pt. So you can see that all these elements is what the human body is made of. Ain't all them elements around that human body? The human body is made of those three elements. And didn't I tell you can lean towards one more than the other, or have the combinations of more, but you have to learn to balance these elements within. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I've been trying to tell you guys, that dealing with the natural elements, this is how you balance this. Now I'm getting ready to show you guys here in a minute how all this ties in: the physical, the spiritual, and the mental. Remember I told you we look at it like they're separate bodies. They're not separate. It's all one. Like, we got to stop separating these bodies and understand it's all one. And see, this chart right here shows you a little bit closer to what I was talking about. See how the Vata, that's my energy, y'all. That's my predominant dosha in my body. And when you start studying these, you'll be like, oh, that's me. It's going to describe you the way that you feel. It's not it telling you, is you like identifying it through you. You see what I'm saying? You'll be like, oh yeah, my body runs like that. You see, like my hands get real cold and my feet get real cold. That deals with Vata, the air and the ether energy. That's me. You see what I'm saying? That's my element, the air. But I'm also fire though at the same time, because man, I love to be warm. You know, so you can have combinations of these things and stuff. And that really deals with like the digestive fire, then the kappa, the water and the earth. That deals with the cooler side of things and stuff. Like, yo, a lot of times the body might run hot with the Pt and you need to cool it down. So you would have to do that on your own though. But I want y'all to understand, tying this in again to the natural elements, that I had to go do it, y'all. I had to. Let me show you. Let me show you clearly. No ifs, ands, or buts. What is that right there? That water. Y'all know that. 2 hydrogen molecules and an oxygen molecule, H2O. Look at the air. Nitrogen, oxygen. You see what I'm saying? You got the carbon. Look at that. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, the carbon dioxide. Look at it right there. Then look at the fire. You need the combustion. You got the water. You got to have the water. You got to have the carbon dioxide, the air. You see what I'm saying? All the elements are present. See what I'm saying? The natural elements, guys. This is what they're fearing and this is what they are afraid of. You tapping into this stuff and activating this kundalini and coming online, they are terrified of it. They're terrified, terrified, terrified. And I don't care. I'm going to keep bringing this knowledge for y'all. I'm going to keep breaking it down. Let's keep going, y'all. Okay, y'all, so now we have to understand why the processed food. Why push this processed food? Why push this liquor? Why push these drugs so hard? Okay, understand this is what keeps you sick. And you being sick keeps you in a low frequency. See, they give you their synthetic medicines to keep your symptoms suppressed, but that never will heal your problem. It's never going to fix the problem. It's just like a band-aid on a bullet wound, right? It's only temporary. And that's what it always does. And that's why we keep seeing our people dying. So this so-called food is drugs, y'all. I've been trying to tell you that on this channel. It's full of man-made chemical dyes. It's full of preservatives that you become addicted to. And this keeps you right where they want you. Essentially, you're right in the palm of their hand. Because when you go to the hospital, you keep getting stuck with, in the vending machine, the little same snacks that when you go up to the cancer center, they tell you it's killing you with cancer. Make that make sense, man. I mean, come on. Are you that, like, you know, out of it? You that brainwashed, that MK Ultra that you can't see beyond that? So this food cycle that you get stuck in, right? It keeps you in your lower self, and ultimately your gut becomes your God. And instead of you controlling your gut, it controls you. And see me, I'm just here to help you break free of this cycle of sickness and help you ascend into the higher self.